just feel like I'm flying. I feel like I'm just on a high. It feels beautiful. It's like all the work and the diligence and the attention to detail you put in, you now just get to just relax and let it rip and just let things flow, and you get to create and kind of make art on the mat. That's how I feel about it.
Let's suppose that you were able every night to dream any dream you wanted to dream. And that you could, for example, have the power within one night to dream 75 years of time, or any length of time you wanted to have. And you would naturally, as you began on this adventure of dreams, you would fulfill all your wishes. You would have every kind of pleasure you could conceive.
Making history for Team USA, becoming the first American woman to become the Olympic team nominee for a third time. Your winner at 57 kilos from the Sun-Kissed Kids, Helen Maroulis.
I recently just made my third Olympic team. I'm the first US female to make 3 Olympic teams in wrestling, so that was really cool. I didn't really know that going in. That was probably nice not to know. It was my 4th Olympic trials that I've ever done. I've been in the finals of all the trials, and I have lost before, so I do know what that's like. And I think going into a trials, you just know it's once every 4 years, and you're wrestling the best of the best. And so there is that pressure and that stress. And yeah, I always just kind of take it in that it is a possibility that you might lose and you might not make this team. And I think with that, it just gives me the freedom to wrestle free. I always like to wrestle for God. And yeah, it was a dream come true. I couldn't sleep like 2 of the nights right before. I was just going through, I was in this flow state and just imagining wrestling and hitting all these moves, and in every scenario I'm just hitting all the technique like so crisp. But then I kept thinking like, why can't I stop thinking about wrestling? Why can't I stop thinking about this? I just need to go to sleep. I need to go to sleep. So I just read my Bible and slept, and just getting to compete, especially at post-COVID Olympics, and have my family there and know that they now get to go to Paris and to watch. It's such a dream come true. So honestly, before the match, you know, you start to warm up, you go maybe an hour and a half early. And I know a lot of athletes will have like a set routine. I'm someone that I like to go completely off the feel. I'm just very aware, and I just really trust and listen to my body. So if I feel like I need more and a harder warm up, I'll do that. If I feel like I need less, I'll listen and do that. And so I've learned how to really trust myself. I just feel like I'm in a zone, and it's not that you're not thinking thoughts, but it's almost like nothing's really gonna get to you. Before I step on the mat, when they call your name, I remember my mom always says she can always tell if I'm gonna win or lose based on how I walk out. And I still don't know exactly what she's looking for, but I know how I feel when I walk out. And so I don't see anything. I'm dialed in. It's like my eyes, people say my eyes look glazed over. And then when I step on the mat, I always view the wrestling mat, it's a circle, and I view circle as completion. And so before I step into this complete circle, I always pray, and I just say, God, I pray to be a window, not a wall, meaning I just want people to see Jesus in me, and I want them to see that in themselves. I also want them to feel like they're a part of what I'm doing when I'm on the mat. I want little kids to see themselves in me, and to also know that I'm in their struggles as well, and wrestling is this really beautiful, uniting sport. And then I go out and wrestle, and then I just feel like I'm flying. I feel like I'm just on a high. It feels beautiful. It's like, just relax and let it rip and just let things flow, and you get to create and kind of make art on the mat. That's how I feel about it.
In blue, representing the Sun-Kissed Kids, Helen Maroulis, making history for Team USA, becoming the first American woman to become the Olympic team nominee for a third time.
I think to be an elite level athlete at this time, with the way that science and technology has advanced, you have to be doing all the things right. You really have to stay on top of everything from supplementation, nutrition, sleep, your training, your recovery. And so yeah, you know, for myself personally, especially being a little bit on the older end as an athlete and coming off of a lot of head injuries, like I don't let any of those things slip, and I can't. So if I don't get good sleep, I need to make sure my nutrition is like on point. And if my nutrition, you know, if I'm traveling or whatever and that's like lacking, or I didn't get to get my supplements in, then I gotta make sure my sleep and everything else is good, or my recovery, or I'm gonna have to scale my training a certain way. So when you're younger, you can kind of just do whatever, run through a brick wall. But as you get older, these things are so important. And I think not even as you get older, just with the way it's advancing, when you're doing all the things right, it's going to give you an advantage. And so if you want to keep up, you have to do those things right. And so whether that's like your protein, your BCAAs, your recovery, hot, cold, sleep, like eating clean, you know, you're clearing the inflammation from your body and you're doing the right workouts so that you can get the progressive overload that you need again. It's like, it's so dialed in. My team is my team's incredible. Coaches, family, support staff, everyone. I will say that I've moved around a lot the last couple of years, and you know, last year I was actually coaching myself before the World Championships. So I've done it a lot of different ways, and I think what I really like is that everyone comes together and they support me, and they also trust that I know what I need. And especially being an older athlete, I think just having that balanced relationship is super healthy. And so you know, my wrestling coach, he'll go check things for me. He'll check to see when I'm up. He'll check to make sure, like, how do I get into the venue? Is it easier? Okay, what's the start time? Okay, you don't have to come back until this time. You can go sleep at the hotel. All these extra things that I don't have to think and make those decisions on. He'll help me with those things. And, you know, he'll have my partner maybe give me a specific feel for my opponent, or he'll have the partner, hey, do this, or you know, hit this move because this is what this girl does. But he doesn't have to tell me. I don't have to know about it. I just get to focus on myself. And so it's really nice to have that support. And you know, my mom and my dad, same thing. They'll do whatever it takes. They're so helpful. My mom drove me up to the tournament, and my dad, you know, my phone broke, and he was getting it fixed for me while I was cutting weight so that I wouldn't be without it. They just go above and beyond. I feel like parents will do the little things, and they're just there for you. They're just so loving, so considerate. And I know that they wanted me to be done a couple of years ago because of all the injuries. And so for them to still support me is really incredible. I think it's really beautiful when you get to do what you love, and when you get to shape your life in a way that's it's helping you towards your goals, but it's also just good for you. It's good for your lifestyle, to be healthy, to eat right, to, you know, supplement correctly, and to sleep well. And I think when we do those things, we kind of take care of the mind, body, soul aspect. So it doesn't matter if you're an elite athlete, or if you're a mom, or you work in an office, or whatever it is that you do. I think just taking care of your body is an act of love towards yourself. And so that's always gonna pay good rewards.
Can you just repeat to me what your parents said to you?
Go full blast.